society and the development community convened in London for the first Global Disability Summit hosted by the British and Kenyan governments and the International Disability Alliance, with the goal of generating new commitments towards implementing the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. Alex Samoda from our partners at Chams Media was there and now files this report for us.
The Global Disability Summit in London came to an end with governments, the civil society, charities and donor agencies vying to step up efforts to fight stigma and discrimination against persons with disabilities, with economic empowerment being one of the key take-home messages. Kenya's Cabinet Secretary for Labour and Social Protection, Ukur Yatani, and the British Secretary of State for International Development, Penny Mordaunt, gave both opening and closing speeches. I asked the British minister her impressions of the summit.
Well, I'm very encouraged. We have a huge number of individuals and organisations from all over the world attending, and they're all making commitments and signing up to a Charter for Change, which is going to be game-changing in how we approach the needs of disabled people around the world.
And why Kenya as a co-host?
Kenya were one of the first nations to sign up to the UN Charter. They've got a great track record in legislation, but also, and critically, they have a really strong relationship with disabled people's organisations in civil society.
You said you visited Kenya in January and you are impressed by the disability inclusion programs Kenya has put in place. What exactly did you see?
Well, I think that it's really critical that we do things that are evidence-led and that we're also really understanding what that unmet need is. So I saw, for example, one initiative which we have been working with the Kenyan government on social security protection programs, and I was really impressed that at a community level, it is the community that are identifying individuals and households that has someone with a disability in it.
Are there any new pledges you can make to Kenya in terms of fostering that partnership for disability inclusion?
Well, we have a fantastic partnership with Kenya that is going to continue. We want to ensure that everybody has access to good quality education and that education is inclusive. We're doing a huge amount of work, not just with our aid budget, but also our investment arm, CDC, to support businesses and investments into Kenya. So we're here for the long term.
Other key take-home messages from the summit: inclusive education and the use of technology and innovation to empower persons with disabilities. From London, I'm Alex Chamada of Chams Media, reporting for KTN News.
In other news, pupils of a school in Nairobi's Kasarani area have been forced to resort to crude alternatives to supplement lack of adequate furniture. This includes sitting on stuffed sacks. KTN's Cecilia Wakesho was there and now tells us how poor infrastructure and insecurity have affected the school's academic performance.
198. This is one of the 3 streams of Class 7 in Jehova Jireh Primary School in Nairobi's Kasarani area. The thirst for education has forced some of these 73 pupils to treasure sacks. They have improvised them for desks, and for those lucky enough to have one, they have to share in style. The few available desks are dilapidated and weak.
Venye unakaa hapa ni ngumu kuandika, hata kuangalia ubao ni shida, juu umekaa chini, na hata unaumia kifua, hata sasa hivi unakuwa na homa juu ni msimu wa baridi.
Alafu haya mangunia inakuanga na chakula mahindi. Watoto juu hawana desks, huwa wanakujia wanakalia, wanatumia kama desks.
They have a new head teacher who is only a week old. Last year's average performance stood at just 192 marks out of 500, the highest average mark this school has ever hit since it was converted to public school in 2005 was 230 marks.
Tuna zile kompyuta zililetwa na serikali, lakini hizo kompyuta hatuna stima katika madarasa iko, lakini hata tukiweka waya, tukiweka nini, inaibiwa kwa sababu hatuna security katika kwa shule.
Usaidizi umekuwa kidogo kwa sababu kama ukuta huu ulijengwa zamani na CDF. Lini? Siku za Waitito ndio alianzisha ukuta huu, na yule ambaye alikuja baada ya Waititu alijaribu kujaribu kumalizia tu.
Teachers have not been spared either. A deplorable office stares at them, their security too in jeopardy. Even during the call of nature, they have to walk in twos or threes. Criminal elements can easily access the school, posing a serious security risk. There are more than 3 illegal entrances to this compound, and one watchman employed just 6 months ago. This signpost was only erected last week.
Mbuzi zinatoka kijiji zinaingia darasani. Watoto wakati wanapokula chakula, wakati mwingine wanang'ang'ania na mbuzi kwa sababu hatuna ua.
The school management says the largest chunk of free primary education funds goes to the kitchen, which is partly supported by World Food Program. The irony is that these pupils have to compete with others in better schools in the city. For a head teacher who is just 1 week old into this school, his determination is to bring change and possibly improve the average performance. Cecilia Wakesho, KTN News from Jehova Jireh Primary School, Maili Saba, Nairobi.
Tonight we meet